Naglfar is loose. Over the sea from the north there sails a ship with the people of hell. At the helm stands Loki. After the wolf do wild men follow, and with them the brother of Bylist goes. Welcome to episode 14 of the Vikings and Valkyries podcast. Joining us to sail the ship of the dead are Bill, Steve, CJ, Jay, and Evan. Welcome to you, Nailfarers.
Hi.
We're in danger. Thank you.
Howdy.
We have a new recruit to the ranks today, Evan, who is yet another Hopkins. So, Evan, the question I have for you is, what's it like growing up in a family where your uncle tries to murder you like Richard III?
Yeah, it's definitely not easy from a young age. Fighting for scraps, making sure that this guy isn't kind of around your back, growing up as a Hopkins is always great. There's a certain je ne sais quoi around what we do as a people, and really looking forward to putting that on display today.
Very good. Bill in the background is wielding all kinds of weaponry. So that's an interesting commentary. I wanted to just take a moment to look at the name Hopkins. Have any of you various Hopkins on this call got an idea of the origin of the name Hopkins?
That's fascinating.
I've been told it's Welsh, but I don't know.
Well, then prepare to be amazed, because I've done my research. It's actually from Hobkin. So kin obviously being kith and kin, family, but Hob being the short form of Robert in the Middle Ages. And Robert itself has Old Norse origins. It comes from, that first part, Rob, comes from the Old Norse name Hrotha, being translated as glorious or famed. So your name basically means kin of glory.
Wow. So we each get an inspiration point for that.
Not quite yet. I wanted to make sure that everyone knew we were in illustrious company. A few famous Hopkins for you. There's Matthew Hopkins, the 17th century witchfinder general.
My favorite.
The poet Gerard Manley Hopkins.
Margaret, are you grieving over Golden Grove unleaving? I know Gerard Manley very well.
Well, look at that. There's Sir Anthony Hopkins, who obviously played Odin, so you are related to the All-Father.
There it is.
And then, of course, Bonnie Tyler, who is still holding out for a hero. Bonnie Tyler was born, her maiden name was Gaynor Hopkins.
I did not know that.
Gaynor.
Wow.
What a handle.
So feel free to hum holding out for a hero as over the course of this podcast, because you certainly need one.
As a historian, I would like to contest this honorable, this interpretation of what the name means. Because if Hob is a colloquialization of Robert, then it seems to me that rather than being these illustrious people, they have a distant ancestor that happened to be perhaps a servant or just had a buddy named Robert, and then when asked, "What's your last name?" "Oh, Robert, my friend, my kin." "Oh, okay, so Hopkin." "Okay, good."
They're glory adjacent, I think, is
glory adjacent. There we go. Well put.
Let's take that.
Well, glory adjacent isn't awful.
That's strong language, CJ, from someone whose character almost won the tug of war.
Yes. Okay. Well, point well taken.
All right. Well, a chance for the Hopkins to live up to their illustrious ancestors in the adventure to come. Now, we are playing the second half of the Ship of the Dead adventure. And so my question to you for this second part is this. This is for your inspiration points. In the Norse text, Gylfaginning, the gods warn about burying the dead with untrimmed nails. Why is that?
So that they can't dig their way out of the grave.
Yes.
Yes.
Trying to think.
They wanted them to look tidy.
Yeah. You always want to go into the afterlife feeling clean. So maybe just clean up those.
Maybe you want to look your best, right?
Yeah.
First impressions.
Yeah, they wanted the nails for something.
Why don't you carry on that thread, Steve? You're on to something. Pull out that piece of thread and see where you get to.
Well, we know that we were told, I don't remember by whom, that the ship we were looking for was called Nailfare or Nailbiter. Maybe it was a fever dream on my part, but I thought there was something about a ship made out of toenails.
Ew.
Steve, I'm going to give you a round of applause, and I'm going to
Wow.
let you know that in that Norse text that I mentioned, a character named Hai, which is an avatar of Odin, states that ship, the Nailfarer, is made of dead people's nails, and so it's worth taking care lest anyone die with untrimmed nails, since such a person contributes to the ship which gods and men wish would take a long time to finish. The Nailfarer is the ship that heralds Ragnarok, so if you don't trim your nails, you bring about the end of the world.
Oh gosh.
Gotcha.
Wow.
It sounds like that ship would have quite the thick hide.
All right, so that was part one. So I'm going to give you half the inspiration point. The second one is so we've done the mythological. Let's do the historical. The famous Norwegian Viking ship, the Oseberg ship, which was built in AD 820 or thereabouts, and then buried in a grave mound several years later, and then excavated in 1904. Can you name me 5 things found in the burial chamber within?
Ooh.
Coin?
Mead.
Lodestone.
None of those 3 things were found, and partly because the tomb had been robbed by grave robbers, and all of the obviously valuable things had been purloined.
So the Oseberg specifically had a body in it of a woman who was in her 50s, thought to be Oza from Ynglinga Saga. The connection is tenuous, although it does date to around the right time, the 830s or so. So they found her body and then that of a servant, a couple of animals. There's also a carriage. It's built kind of like a 4-post bed. And then there's also the prow that has actually, this is one of the evidences that we have for Viking hairstyles. There's a wood carving of a man with long hair that gives us an idea of, maybe they wore long hair. So is that enough? Did I give you enough?
I think we got the point, CJ. I think we got the point.
I'll give you the point, but the only thing that you missed was the so-called Buddha bucket, which I always find interesting personally, because they found a bucket with an ornate carving of the Buddha on the side, which shows just how far they traveled.
Yeah. I have a picture of it. I have a
cool.
book. Yeah, that's really fun. Well, we don't know if they traveled that far, but they at least had trade connections with people who went that
They
far.
traded with someone who had gone that far. So what we've got there then is between Steve and CJ. They've earned the inspiration points, and the Hopkins boys
We know nothing.
are yet to get on the scoreboard.
The Hopkins in general, actually.
But
Just give it a little time.
Some creative answers. We're about creativity, not accuracy or factuacy.
So-
Pressure makes diamonds, fellas. Pressure makes diamonds.
So in my defense, the digging out of the grave thing was something that I saw recently about like vampires and trying to dig their way out of the grave and that whole thing. And since the lady ended up being Swedish, do I get the other half point for Steve?
Sure, you've got the full inspiration point this week, and I was tempted to give Bill a bonus for quoting Gerard Manley Hopkins, but that's far too pretentious. So no.
Wow.
Yeah, keep the point. Keep the point.
Yeah.
Let's kick off this week's thrilling adventure. So we start on the frozen sea ice, several days' travel outside of Houtmakar, at the coordinates given to you by the rune master Rauda Serdum. And I'm going to say that name again, Rauda Serdum, not Valdonki.
Sounds like Valdonki to me.
Valdonk it is, yeah.
The wind is howling and you are buffeted with snow and ice. A derelict ship emerges from the snow flurries, partially enveloped by the icy wastes. The weak lights of your equipment can barely penetrate the storm, but you make out the stenciled name Falkir. It creates an ominous silhouette against the stark terrain, like an enormous piece of driftwood cast onto a frozen shore. Above you, the scar in the sky continues to pulse with surreal beauty across the vast black canvas of space, a ribbon of radiant energy that bathes you in an otherworldly glow of pinks, blues, and purples. It shimmers and undulates with a life of its own, like a serpent twisting amidst the stars. It is little wonder that people mistook it for the Northern Lights. Now, Jay and Evan, You stand in the shadow of this derelict ship, and then out of the gloom, you see 3 strangers stagger out of this endless white abyss, each with 1,000-yard stare. Figures who have cheated death and escaped the freezing jaws of the brutal blizzard.
Why, hello and welcome to the ship. I am Gravebreaker, and this...
Snow Thunder. How do you do?
Greetings! I am Griot Goth, the Magnificent. You may have heard of me. I won the silver medal in the All Asgard Games for Togahonk. My friends
can't
call me
see.
Gigi for short. And these two are a tree and a rock.
Greetings.
I would like to act like I'm impressed, but farther from it. What are you doing here, and why should we entertain you?
Leome says, be careful with the diamond-encrusted one. He is not to be trusted. Leome turns to Gigi and says, furious Starkad flies forth into the Danes, killing warriors all around him. And kind of looks off into the distance.
Be careful with the tree. He is, in fact, batshit insane.
You're made of diamonds?
No, that's just a figure of speech. Er will, he waves his hands a moment, traces some runes in the air, and assumes his more normal form of a completely nondescript human.
So just to be clear there, then, Steve, you are using a spell slot and casting Glamour Sight and
I
changing your
absolutely
form?
am. Yes, I am. I'm returning to my normal form. I am a nondescript human.
He is not as he seems.
So just to be clear, have these 3 gotten into this ship?
Jay and Evan, your characters, Snow Thunder and Gravebreaker, are looking down at these 3 new arrivals. You stand in the kind of loading bay. This is a ship that is made of ironwood. It is a bio ship. It's not steel. It's not got bomb bay doors. It has a pore, a kind of hollow that acts as an entranceway. And you are poised in that entranceway, having just found this ship and hoping to claim it for yourself. And they stand outside.
Okay.
Well, Snow Thunder, you, a man of war, do you think we trust them?
Listen, the one that is not made of diamonds may enter. The other 2, I'm not so sure.
Oh, whoa, you
I
gotta
believe
wait.
you
gotta
mean
wait for
me. Thank you, Snow Plunder
Okay.
and Knave Beaker.
that. All right,
Welcome and well met. The enemy rises over the hill.
we
Get
cannot
my
let
axe.
these guys in. Snow
my
Thunder,
axe.
We cannot let them in.
This talking tree would make good firewood, don't you think?
I
You
think
may
if
not,
we...
sir. He is
Think
my
not?
tree, and he's quite useful. Do you own this, what may be called a vessel?
Technically, yes.
Define technically.
We are here in the doorway, right? It's finders keepers.
Losers, weepers.
You who are versed in law, what does it say about a Jarl arriving and taking salvage rights?
Good thing about not being able to read.
Yeah.
Ain't no laws.
What would be the custom for a Jarl claiming salvage rights on everything he surveys?
With honor +7.
It's not like Ozymandias surveying the lone and level sands. He doesn't just get to claim everything he gazes upon. Yeah, it probably is the case that if these 2 junkers and salvagers have arrived there first, they've effectively planted their flag, so to speak. That said, Evan, can you give me an awareness roll, please?
Dice 20 and a dice 6.
That's 9.
And you also have an awareness modifier on your character sheet, probably a +3, so that should make it a 12 total, right?
Looks like it, yeah.
Something strange happens because out in the blizzard beyond, out of the corner of your eye, instead of where you would see normal shadows, you see a strange caribou type creature. And then with a blink of an eye, you look round to focus on it and it's gone.
Whoa. Was that an elk? Caribou? Possibly a reindeer?
Did it walk on 2 feet or 4?
You get the impression that it was standing upright.
Upright. That is no elk that I have seen.
I believe I know what it is. It's a large, dangerous creature that will kill us all unless we stow away in the ship. Let's make these negotiations quick, shall we? I'm a very rich man. If you partner with me, I will make it worth your while.
See, we are already rich. We've already got money. What about manual labor? If you come in, can you possibly help us strip parts from the ship so that we can leave with these? You better hurry. The time is ticking.
Yes, very strong, as I said, silver medalist.
Okay,
Silver
come on
medalist,
in. Get
you
in here, then. Get in
Go
here.
ahead and get your butts
Get
in.
your ass in here.
But the deal is you must work.
Evan, I'm going to ask you. There's something unnerving about seeing this creature, so I'm going to ask you to make your will roll this time.
A 1.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
It's a little rough.
Critical fail. Nice. It carries on with the tradition, Evan. We roll badly here.
Good.
There is an unnerving sensation that comes over you that this creature with red eyes is looking deep into your spirit. I'm going to give you 1 trauma, and you will have the frightened condition for the next minute or so as you wander through the ship. You are trembling and shaking, unnerved by the spectral apparition of the creature beyond.
You guys see that? Holy shit.
Hey, come on, man. Hold it together, man.
That
Hold it
thing is
together.
terrifying. All those years in the war to bring it back bad feelings.
I slap Gravebreaker in the face. I say, get it together, baby. Come on.
Ow! You're right. Gotta do it for our families.
Yes.
no,
Is he laughing at us?
No,
sorry.
he gets nervous.
It's a stress response.
All right, so we enter the ship, yes?
So let me give you a brief description, because you're going to have to guide yourselves through the interior of the vessel. Some of you do have a floor plan by which you can navigate, but this first place that you are in here is the equipment lock, which stores the power supply. There's an assembly of gap suits being the equivalent of spacesuits in this universe. The gap, the Gununga gap, being the name for space or the yawning void. The room is also the kind of extra vehicular pore, so normally it's pressurized and depressurized, enabling gapfarers to venture into the void. Now here it is inert and remains open to the icy waste outside. Can you all, though, give me an awareness roll with 2 woes to see whether you spot anything as you clamber aboard?
Yeah, 9 minus 6. Hey, what, 3.
14 minus 5, so 9.
13 total.
Okay, well, ironically, Air, it's you who notices a message scratched onto one of the gap suit helmet's visors as you clamber aboard. You see words etched into the glass that say, "Sometimes dead is better."
They're not wrong. You mentioned one of the other people sort of acted strangely when we boarded the ship. Do any of the rest of us feel strange?
No.
Well, me specifically, but no?
Gravebreaker was the only one looking out over your shoulders at the creature behind, was the only one that spotted
Okay.
the creature, and so therefore was the only one that got that trauma.
Okay, so that was from seeing the other creature, not from boarding the ship. Although this scratched on the spacesuit visor is not a great start.
No, feel free to give yourself a trauma if you want.
I mean, it goes with. I have quite a collection. So, yeah, that sort of sets the creepiness meter to like 1 or 2. I will show this to CJ and just go. Look, my Jarl, this seems a strange thing to carve. Is it carved on the inside or the outside, by the way?
On the outside.
A strange artifact indeed.
Perhaps some of these spacefarers were not greatly optimistic.
Or perhaps
I sus-
already dead, such as our Orkneus friends. dead and alive again, and dead again.
Yeah, I can relate.
Let me give you a little bit of a description of the vessel itself from the inside. So the interior of this derelict, like I said, resembles a living tree. The walls and vaulted ceilings are made of ironwood, and all of the passageways are kind of organic shapes and structures. Now, the Norse shipwrights use a range of chemical treatments, heat and pressure, and they make this ironwood stronger than steel. It's a kind of miracle material that is used for these vessels. The ceilings here are about 10 feet high throughout the ship, although there are a lot of damaged areas that are caked in ice, and there are tendrils of sap that kind of drip down through any damaged areas.
Are these surfaces and the floor, just for instance, covered in blood and gore?
They are not.
Okay, just thought I'd check.
Everything is lit by this slightly orange glow, the result of genetically engineered bioluminescence. So it's not impossible for you to see. It's a kind of low light. And as you go through, you're going to be passing through doors that are effectively membranes. They're smart gating membranes that open and close depending on changes in temperature or magnetic fields. They look like pores or hollows. They're natural symmetrical cavities in the wood. And as you approach each individual room, then this pore will open for you to pass through. And it does obviously make Leomi feel at home. It's like walking around his innards.
Relative of yours?
Yggdrasil, made flesh, made ship, made whole.
I'm gonna whisper to Gravebreaker and say, "Come, let us do our task." And I would like to poke my head through the door leading into the ship.
The path from this extravehicular pore, this equipment lock, takes you through, you can see on the other side, a kind of workshop area. Obviously, ships like this that participate in any significant amount of fighting or traveling require constant repairs, and maintaining something like the Valkyr is a colossal undertaking involving dozens of wrights, smiths, and shapers. In the room beyond, you see a forge, an anvil, a vice, variety of tools. There's a carpenter's station, and the walls are lined with workbenches, laboratory equipment. Most of it is covered with dust and debris. But on the far side, you do see several faded photographs pasted to the walls, which look like snapshots of Imperial soldiers at work and play, the kind of things that you would put up on your desk at work.
What are those nude men doing on the wall over there? So, Jarl, tell me, what brings you three strange people to the ship?
We are trying to solve a mystery.
What mystery?
A mystery that so far is still none of your business. And since you decided not to partner with me, then it's very much none of your fucking business.
Say, Gravebreaker, what do we do to old boys like him back home, huh?
Well, pardon me, I was thinking about the grotesque things that we would do to...
Absolutely grotesque.
grotesque things to men of his stature back at home. And I don't think he'd like to know what we do. I don't think he could handle it.
I'm not afraid of you. We just took down an entire army of undead Orkneys that came back to life the more we slaughtered them. And we still won.
I take my rifle and I just kind of lick the tip and I say, you better watch yourself, boy. And then I'm going to move into the ship.
Men, can you make the ship go? Leomi asks.
It seems we're not partners, and it seems we're not sharing much information at this point. So unless you can give me some kind of olive branch, fucking tree, then, you know, we could work something out, maybe.
Yes.
I'm going to give you 3 locations as you peruse this workshop. I'll give you a number of destinations that you can think about going towards. To the north, there is a doorway to the northwest, another doorway to the south. There is a third doorway.
So Gigi's going to walk over to Air, and he's going to reach into the illusion that's making him a nondescript person and feel around. This is going to be very intrusive. I'm sorry, Steve.
Oh,
And then he's going
hello.
to pluck a diamond from the rock, and then he's going to move over to the two
Ooh.
new people and say,
that's not a diamond.
listen, I told you, I'm very, very rich. And if you partner with me, I will make it worth your while. You think you have money? Wait until you see what we have in store. Here's your olive branch. And then I give it to them.
Snow Thunder, we have not seen diamonds like this before from our homeland. We must agree. We must take this.
Only in our wet dreams did we imagine such diamonds. I think we shall accept your offer, and Mr. Lomi, no, Mr. Air.
Hello.
Did you produce this diamond out of your anus? Where did this appear from?
He's a shapeshifter. Don't trust him.
I produced it from my pocket.
Ah, much more civilized. Okay.
He's the gift
As
that
any
keeps on
ordinary
giving.
person would do. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Could I take a keen look around the room? I'm looking for anything, I might like. I already like the pictures on the wall, but anything else I might like?
You can help yourself to any of the tools that are around, but this is a very practical room. Like I said, for smiths and shapers, it's the equivalent of the engineering department.
Okay.
Air would like to look for more disturbing messages scratched on things.
See anything?
Nothing scratched here in
Okay,
this room, despite your best efforts, apart from those photos, shiny, happy, friendly people going about their lives in the Imperial forces.
You said that there were tools in this room. Do you think there would maybe be a tool that I could get a couple more diamonds off of Air using?
Good idea. We've got one. One may be
There-
enough.
One may suffice for now.
There is movement to the north
Ooh.
in the room. There is kind of a scrabbling and a crash, as if
Oh.
someone has moved and knocked something over.
Okay. Listen here, Lomi. You asked me a question earlier. You said, could we get the ship working?
Yeah.
You help us out, we help you out, okay? We might know a thing or two about how the ship works. So let's make sure the ship is clear of any bad boys, and maybe we can figure something out.
Yes, this sounds like a very good plan. I'll wait here, and you make sure that there are no bad people. The most excellent plan. I must protect
Air
my
would-
family.
I mean,
Air would like to, yeah, it means the bugs. Air would like to just, when either Snowbreaker or Grave Thunder says that, Air would like to, what's the equivalent of an insight check? Just sort of, are they bluffing when they say they know a thing or two about ships? How would I go about getting a feel for that?
You could ask the seer in your ear.
I could. I
The
could
elf
ask
on
the
the
voices
shelf.
in my head. Yes, that's the spirit. Oh, voices in my head. Well, the one in particular. Oh, voice in my head. Do either of these two do they have the knowledge we need to get this ship into space?
Rani, the spirit of the murdered seer, says yes.
Excellent. Also, crap. Okay. Thank you, Prani.
The noise we heard, which direction did it come from?
The north.
North.
And it wasn't murder, it was at worst manslaughter.
Well, look, Gravebreaker and I can pretty much take care of anything. So why don't we just take a look ahead here, and you little boys can follow up right behind us. But if you,
This is how we like to work with men. This is excellent.
You know, Snow Thunder, I'll follow you, but if it's a two-legged reindeer again, then I'm out, man. I am out.
And I slap him, and I say, "Come on, baby, pull yourself together, baby."
You're right. You're right.
All right.
The-
Okay.
Well, if neither of you has the balls to go, I will. So Gigi's going to walk off toward the noise.
And I go quick, follow him.
You step from the workshop into what looks like crew quarters, fitted with 6 bunks. Each of the beds has a small footlocker at the end, and you may enter that room and look around. You see a brief flurry of movement, and there is something clearly there lurking between the bunk beds.
So Gigi points his flashlight at it.
Okay, then pointing your flashlight at it, you see a hunched, cowering figure, its hair tangled and matted, and a kind of wilt of flower petals wilted around its face. The creature attempts to bolt, dashing between the beds and upturning one of the lockers in a bid to escape.
Yomi says, Alfkin, wait. Tree touched, wait.
Oh, you recognize it? You recognize it, Leonie?
Is
Relative?
one of the Alfkin people. They are close to my kind.
Should I shoot him?
No, they are fine.
Are they? Is
Curious Starcard, stay thy hand.
At the sound of your alpha voice, the creature stops, and you do indeed see that it is a Wayne, one of the tree touch people, and it cowers down again in the torch beam, and it says, "Alpha, light one, move swift, whisper soft, dance in heart, beauty's true form.
You are most welcome.
Friends,
And
allies."
Most. Would be careful of the one. He's a shapeshifter. His form is not to be trusted. And these two, Grunt Barker and Slip Wonder, I do not know. The large man seems fine. Trust me. Trust
Idiwak,
me.
Shadow Beast, hides in blood. Moose Man, same form. Misty eyes, you look, you see nothing.
Yes, we saw a glimpse of this. Do you hunt it?
Aye, Azabo. Moves quick like wind's whisper, hides awaits. You no see it, see you, cold heart.
so. Wait a second. Is this little bunch of leaves telling us that thing is hunting us right now, or what? What's he really getting at?
Yes, that is what he's saying. It hunts.
Did anyone close the sphincter?
You're the ones who claim to know how to work the ship.
I don't have any.
Okay, that's.
Yes, good realization. No one closed the door to the outside.
Okay, someone's gotta go back.
Should I run back and make sure it's closed?
Let me come with you. I don't want you to be alone.
Perhaps
feel
we
like
should not travel apart. I shall join.
Okay, let's all go close the thing.
Leomi will follow them.
Okay, so you're stepping back out of that room. Sorry, did you want to carry on your searching, or are you going with them?
No, I will carry on my search using, normalize as well as thermal sensors. If I see any large alien eggs on the floor, I will not look in them. I just want to point that out ahead of time.
All right, and Leomi, are you staying with Air and the Wayne Hunter?
I'm going to stay with Air and keep an eye on Air and with the Wayne Hunter. Because it's nice to see a friendly face and a leafy face.
Let's just do two things then. First of all, we're going to start with Air, Leomi, and the Wayne. Air, give me an awareness challenge roll.
Happily.
With 3 wheels. Pretty sure.
Oh, well, it's worth a try. That is really a 9.
Now, I do want to remind you, since you haven't used it for a while or ever, that you do have the
Oh,
hip flask,
right.
the ghostly hip flask, which gives you daring do and enables you to re-roll.
My problem is I'm always trying to save it for save it when it's important, and so I never wind up using it. So you know what? Yes, I will go ahead and use it. So roll same, just the same again. Nothing fancy, right?
It enables you to remake a challenge roll that you failed. Ordinarily, the rules say that you can't do that. Once you've failed, you failed. But with this daring do gift through the cigarette case of the spectral soldier, I imagine you lighting a ghostly cigarette and having another go.
Oh, I like that. Light a ghostly cigarette, contemplate it for a moment, and then we're going to look around again with new eyes. Same roll?
Yep. Give me a wheel, though.
So that adds up to 14.
This time around, nonchalantly dangling the cigarette from your diamond-encrusted Blackstone lips, you find it underneath one of the bed covers. You find a Bible, and then sifting through the Bible, you see a note scrawled on the inside cover. And this is what it says. It says, "There is something at work in my soul which I do not understand. I begged you to save me, and you did nothing."
I'm sure it's fine.
I feel that deep, yeah. What language is it written in?
In Nur, the common tongue.
Would it be normal for an Imperial ship crew member to have a Bible? Or would it belong to someone else?
The worship of the White Christ is minimal in this universe. It's a kind of marginalized sect that was almost eradicated as a mainstay belief, but was then kind of resurrected by some outcasts who fought on the opposing side in the Jotun War. Many of the Jotnar tended towards Christianity.
Bit of a long shot, but I don't suppose the scratching matches the scratching on the visor.
It would be impossible without some kind of understanding of calligraphy or handwriting expertise.
Worth a try.
The Wayne Hunter taps you on the shoulder, Leomi, and he says, "Story Weaver, watch for the ship alive, Woodheart, branches veins."
Yes, I sensed as much.
Is the ship healthy?
Yggdrasil's child, breathes in cosmos, breathes out life, carries heart in star sea.
It's healthy.
Thank you.
We'll just move to the other three who have wandered back through the workshop to the extravehicular port and can attempt to close it. Do you want to give me, any one of you, a wits roll in order to do so?
With any woes?
Grothgard, you want to go for it?
No woes. This is just an attempt to work out how you can close that door.
I rolled a 3 plus 2, 5.
You can't close a door.
I'm a god. This is below me.
But you were okay. Let me give it a try.
As you reach forward, Jay, there is a sudden, loud, blaring klaxon, and a cold, mechanical tone begins to ominously echo through the dimly lit corridors. Detonation in T-5 minutes. And I won't do the but imagine that now.
That's
constantly.
the sound we're not doing? Yes, I just want to understand. Yeah, okay.
Does anybody hear that?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not good. Should we get out of here? Is there a way we can turn it off, or?
I guess we better try and turn it off, huh?
Is the door closed?
The door is not closed, no.
Oh.
Still open.
Good.
The Wayne Hunter back in the other room, obviously hearing this very discordant, jarring siren, taps you, Lemmy, on the shoulder and says, "Ship knows Ijarak on board. Goes big boom, big boom."
As Yggdrasil shivers, Naomi turns and looks at no one in particular and says, Visna, cling tight to the banner.
He grabs you by your branches and says, "Life will end. Mother Tree falls. Star path closed."
Yes, I know
And
him.
He appears to be dragging you into the interior of the ship.
I'll go with him.
Remember to look in the egg pods.
Can we do something at this point, or are we still with them?
You are probably 50 yards apart in a different room. Those three are in the crew quarters. You went back through the workshop to the extravehicular port.
Right.
You're all hearing the klaxon, and the countdown is ominously continuing.
Who has the Ravenhead skull? Okay.
Naomi does, yeah.
Okay, so we're kind of covered if it all goes boom. No,
Once
Oh,
again,
yeah.
Once per
I can-
adventure.
What? Yeah,
Yeah, but-
within 10 yards of where I'm standing.
so
once-
separate recordings are not separate adventures. What?
Nope, this is part 2 of the same adventure. A nice try.
Once per adventure. So we've already blown the go back in time and try it again. Okay.
I think that Pile of Leaves might know something about how we can find this bomb to potentially stop this detonation, but this door is still open, so I think we might just have to leave the door open and go find this pile of leaves.
I'm going to ask you all, because this is quite a distressing situation, to make a will challenge roll for me, because there clearly is this death knell warning of an explosive end, and you have no way of knowing whether the ship will detonate and take you with it.
I got a 4 minus 1.
So 1d20.
Got 17 total.
Okay, Bill, I'm going to give you trauma for this situation, and because you have your flashbacks that you have been so skillfully weaving into the narrative, then you actually take 2 trauma, and you are slowed. So, as a slowed person, you can only take a slow turn, your speed is halved, and you cannot benefit to increases to speed, such as the drawbacks of thinking you're actually in the middle of the Battle of Brevlin.
Yes, I can see how that would.
CJ, you pass, so you shrug off the effects as if it were a gnat buzzing about your head. Steve, what did you get?
I rolled a 7.
You're useless.
And please add a trauma and then immediately fall asleep.
Yeah.
Luckily, you are in the crew quarters, and there is a lovely eider-down quilt for you to tuck yourself in under.
I will fall asleep praying that I'll wake up in Valhalla.
Evan and Jay, do you want to give me your rolls?
17.
And I had 18.
Look at you two, made of sterner stuff. The 3 gentlemen who are in the extravehicular port, you must make the decision about whether you charge back into the Valkyr, the bio ship, or whether you rush outside.
I mean, look, we don't got much time, but we don't want this thing to blow up, do we?
Yeah, I mean,
Preferably not.
I mean, there's no way at all that we can turn off this countdown and survive in the ship.
Well, I think there is. I say we go in, we use our skills with explosives. We're highly skilled with explosives, and so why don't we get in there and try and turn this thing off?
Talking of explosives, there is an eruption back in that workshop that stands between you and Aaron Leomi. Fire floods that space. The whole place erupts in flames.
Oh, shit.
Oh, what are we going to do now? Looks like we can't go back to them.
Are we waiting outside now? I guess it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here.
Do you know the way to the bridge?
Oh, I do have a map on my little machine here. The bridge.
Lovely.
The bridge.
Take your time. There's no rush.
Yeah. It's loading. It's loading. The
What are
bridge.
you running on though? Windows 98?
Yes.
Detonation in T-minus 3 minutes.
Okay. The bridge. What would the bridge be called in a Falcor? Would it be called? I'm asking Dungeon Master. The bridge be.
It would be called the Raven's Nest. The bridge deck, or the Raven's Nest,
Okay.
is where on these Norse vessels, especially since the Raven or Crow was an essential part of the Viking navigation equipment, we used to send them ahead of ships to determine where the closest land lay. And in the same way as that we have a crow's nest on board ships, they have a Raven's Nest.
Can we get through the fire?
You can give me all a slight roll in order to see whether you can get through it without taking any damage.
Okay, guys, we got to get through that fire to get to the Raven's Nest.
So give me those rolls in the background. Bill, the Wayne Hunter, obviously distressed that you are going incredibly slowly, having failed your roll, says to you, "I go now, Light One. Find help. I go now." He taps you on the shoulder, pushes you into a little alcove, and then heads himself through one of the pores into the recesses of the ship. All right, what did you roll there, gentlemen?
Nothing good. 6.
9.
18 total.
So, Evan and Jay, I'm going to both give you 11 damage from the intense flames as you try and rush through them. Gigi, you, despite your heft and your bulk, you vault with great skill and avoid any of the inferno around you. Detonation in T-minus 1 minute and counting.
So we're just bolting for the Raven's Nest.
Yeah, follow me. Follow me.
Run!
I'm running.
You rush through the crew's quarters, past the insensate form of the Doc Alpha, who lies propped up on one of the beds, and you rush, almost blundering into the form of your friendly neighborhood Alpha, who is slowly meandering in his stressed out form in front of you. Strangely, though, at that very moment, the klaxon stops, the sirens end, and the self-destruct sequence has obviously been shut down.
Pile of leaves. Where's the pile of leaves?
Yes, Snow Thunder. Yes. What is your question?
Anyone see the pile of leaves?
I am the pile of leaves.
But there's another. Isn't there another pile of leaves wandering around here?
You mean the Elfkin?
Yes.
He shall return.
But do you think he was the cause of this alarm turning off?
It seems
Seems unlikely.
So that means
Perhaps
we're not alone.
Perhaps the time ran out and there's simply no explosive.
Rothcart makes an excellent point.
Oh.
Although that one
Okay.
part of the ship did explode, so
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Why was there a fire over there? Is the fire still raging down there?
It is not.
It is not.
I would like to examine everyone, Naomi says, to make sure there is no Raboon fever amongst us. Has everyone had their shot?
Baboon fever?
Raboon fever. Please, be serious.
I think I've had my shots, yeah.
And nonetheless, Snow Thunder, come closer. Let me use some of this equipment to check that you are, in fact, clean. And Gravebreaker, if you'll form a line behind him, and Grothgard behind him as well. We better just make sure everyone's quite healthy.
you don't need to check me. I'm genetically enhanced.
Well,
I'm immune.
it would be a good test for my equipment.
Leomi is a healer, Although when you say equipment, you whilst you do have stuff in your medicine bag, to the immediate south, that door from the workshop is a sick bay.
We'll go to the sick bay, and I'll check you all for the fever and for any other illnesses.
Nah, I don't need it. I don't actually believe in vaccines. And also, I'm like, my body's kind of superior. So it's just, I don't think I need any, whatever you're going to give me, I don't need it.
You do have 11 points of damage that he might be able to help you out with, entirely up to
What?
you.
Yeah, it's just what, you can't take a bit of damage? Boys these days can't take a bit of damage. So I'm a tough guy, and
It'll be a good test for the equipment. Come along.
okay,
Snow Thunder.
fine,
Come
fine,
along, Great Breaker.
fine.
Rothgard, it would be a blessing to my equipment. You'll be able to use it to test you.
Do your worst.
Okay, test us.
Come along, men.
Like I said, on the other side of the workshop, the sick bay, the door opens to a kind of room that's dominated by a blood-stained operating table that squats in the middle of the room, and there's a whole set of steel mortuary drawers. The floor itself is strewn with hypodermic needles and forgotten blood samples, and then there's a large mirror on the far wall, and as you enter, you can see that the mirror is daubed with some true Norse words. Gigi, did you want to translate them for anyone, or Ed? Did anyone wake up there?
Nope.
Still, I think he called the top bunk and he just went to bed.
It's been a long journey. Let him
It's been
sleep.
delightfully quiet.
Let sleeping rocks lie.
In True Norse, it says "Helsa munthu enum sma vini minum," which translates as "Say hello to my little friend."
Uh-oh.
Don't let the mess bother anyone. It's been a very busy time. There's been quite a lot of fever and other things that needed to be dealt with. So, if someone could just hop up on the table there in the middle, we'll begin the examinations.
It doesn't look clean to me. And it also looks like this is some kind of biological manufacturing site where they were assembling Orkneus, potentially. Body parts, blood. This looks suspect to me.
They see now you're being fanciful. I'm concerned, Grothgard, that you're running a few. Possibly the explanation. If you could just hop up on the table here, we'll have a proper look.
Start with the other two. I'm going to examine the room with my flashlight.
All right, then, Gravebreaker, why don't you get up on the table?
Okay.
We'll test you.
Make it quick. I'm going to go to the crow's nest very shortly. So
Snow Thunder, you wish to go first? That's fine.
You know, Snow Thunder, as I go first, why don't you go ahead and see if you can get the crow's nest, huh? Why don't you go ahead as I just,
I don't think I need what this guy's selling. I don't think I need it, and we got our own thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead.
Snow Thunder, you should let me heal you.
You go ahead.
I don't trust you.
I will get in the chair first, and I will take the gaze of Liarmi.
Yes.
And as he's looking at me, Snow Thunder sneaks off in the back.
Yes.
You climb on and straddle the table, the examination table, and then there is a hum as a thermal sensor begins to scan you, and you notice that a cloud of medical nanites, these minuscule surgeons, 25 times smaller than the width of a human hair, they begin to swirl like a cloud of tiny starlings, and then they zoom into your burns and begin to attach themselves to the flesh. The problem is that they're not trying to heal the flesh, they're actually continuing some cellular disruption, and you yell in agony as you take 9 more damage.
Oh! Snow Thunder, run! Run!
The nanites are swarming all over your burns and dissolving your limbs.
Try and stay still.
I can't. I'm losing my Snow Thunder.
What did I just hear? I heard something back there.
Is there nothing I can do to dissuade you? Please, I need my limbs.
Jay, are you going to return to help your shrieking comrade back in the sick bay? The medical malfunction is obviously causing him problems.
Yeah, so I heard there's an issue. So I look back and I have my rifle trained on Leomi, and I say, "Let him out of it."
It will just be another moment more. Come on back and let me do the testing.
Fire
At
Leomi.
you're shooting. You're shooting your father.
Just to be clear.
This is a very Luke and Darth moment. Anyway,
Like this is long awaited.
Why are you doing this to me?
It's to heal you. It'll be fine.
It's not healing me. My limbs, they're gone.
It'll be fine. I promise you. We need to test for the fevers. Could be other fevers.
I don't think the fever will matter if
This
my
guy's got a
limbs
fever.
are gone.
Oh, so I aim and I shoot. You think it's at Leomi, but it's actually at the machine itself.
okay, so you're trying to hit the medical nanites.
Yes.
Okay, give me a slight roll then, as if to hit.
So I have 4 plus 2 slight, so 6. And weapon attack wheel. I have 1. So I'll add. Oh god. So I have plus 3. So that's 9.
Okay, your rifle bullet fires wide, shattering the mirror, which has that message on it. Say hello to my little friend, and glass spirals into the room. Evan, the medical nanites continue to dismember you. Can you take another 7 damage, please?
Oh, this isn't good. This
No.
isn't good.
Mm-hmm. Just
I'm
close your
bleeding
eyes,
out.
Greatbreaker. It'll be over in a moment.
Is there anything I can do to get the nanites out, or since I don't have any limbs, am I just kind of sitting there getting dismembered?
You're just getting dismembered. So Gigi is going to see this whole thing, kind of in shock, and goes, "Naomi, have you lost your bloody mind?" And he's going,
Grothgard, come here for some testing, please.
he's going to carve bind runes on Naomi to bind
Okay.
him.
To stop him moving anyway.
Stop him moving at least for a minute.
Bind runes is all about creating a pentagram of runes to prevent someone from moving it, and it does potentially pin him to the spot. If he chooses to move out of that environment, he will take damage.
Wait a second. Starting to piece what's going on here.
I'm going to keep him in place and then try and wrestle the machine from him that's removing the limbs of our new friend and see if I can't reverse it.
Now, let's have a lot less fuss, please.
Rothgard, I think they're cursed. The bag of rocks is asleep in the other room. This guy's
Gigi.
doing weird shit.
Please help me. Please.
Something's wrong. We need to figure it out. Let's help your friend first.
Evan, give me a will roll with 2 woes, having your flesh corroded by these medical nanobots is not a pleasant experience, and it may well give you more trauma.
Oh no. Okay. That's a 21 in total?
No,
you subtract from
You've
20.
got 18. 18.
Gotcha. 18.
You shake off the intense nausea that comes with this horrifying situation. Gigi, you're unable to, even if you grab the machine from Lomi, this is a scanner that it's attached to the sick bay itself. There's nothing that Leomi has that is causing this. The room itself has issued forth these medical nanites.
Oh my god.
This would be much easier if everyone would just calm down and wait their turn. I will get to each of you.
There's nothing you can do.
Can I do a trap sense?
You can?
Okay. So search for and resist traps with 1 wheel. So D20 and 1 wheel. Wow. So I got 5.
You are unable to fix this particular conundrum.
Shit.
Did you give me a wits roll?
Yay. 17 plus 2, 19. Woo, I'm rolling good today.
It occurs to you that in this world of riddles and clever kennings, that the message on the mirror may well have something to do with your predicament. Say hello to my little friend.
So then I lean into the machine and say in true Norse, hello.
And it immediately powers down.
DJ, thank you so much.
That is going to slow everything down. I am not pleased.
But Gravebreaker, your limbs.
Someone must carry me.
Is he limbless still?
How much damage have you taken total now, Evan?
Oof. I'm down to 9 overall health. I've taken 27 damage.
Okay. Fairly brutal.
So I'm not feeling
not-
great.
Fairly brutal, but not quite as brutal as this, because as you stand looking at Leomi, the Alpha, it smashes a branch straight into Snow Thunder's skull. You take 10 damage, and all the more horrifyingly, Leomi merges and melds and blends into an exact replica of you, Snow Thunder. The tree is no more, but instead there are 2 exact replicas of yourself standing there. That's a fairly horrifying situation, and you please roll a will challenge roll with 2 words.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. 19 minus 6, so 13.
Despite the fact that you are gazing fearfully into eyes that look exactly the same as yours reflecting back at you, your doppelganger is smiling as given you that quick and deadly blow. You don't take any trauma, but the creature, in a voice very similar to your own, says,
Here, in this stolen ship,
I stand, an abomination born of the roarer's whims, blood to ice, heart to stone, Orkneyas I am known. Heroes, you see me.
yet, what do you truly perceive?
And then it bolts from the room, passing through the bind runes as if they were not there, and scurries straight into the workshop, scattering tools and implements everywhere as it vaults across the workbenches.
Oh my god. Do I have a hole in my head?
You have a hefty branch-sized cleft in your skull. Then the creature transformed into a likeness of you and fled.
Rothgard, should we perhaps wake up the guy that's not made of diamonds? Could he help?
Yes, and we should find Leomi, since that wasn't him. And I'm going to venture a guess that that is the creature that's been hunting us, because of course it is.
Shit. What we got ourselves into, Gravebreaker?
How are you alive? You have a brow
Well,
sticking straight through your head. May I look at it? I'm fascinated.
Yes, please. I think if I lean back a bit, I can kind of walk straight. It's like a balancing act.
I'm going to cast Analgesics on him and hope that that does something.
It does.
Uh,
So they can get 1d6 damage per rank of spell expended.
Sweet. How high of a spell can I cast?
You've got level 3 these days, but do you want to trade a level 3 spell to heal up these rivals to your clan?
I mean, with that terrible thing running around, putting branches in people's heads. Yes, yeah. I need
Let's
them well.
revive the meat bags.
Let's start with the 2. Let's save the 3 for later because I may have to shoot some things, and I would like to have my Orlog at top rank. So let's do 2. So that's what, 2d6?
Mm-hmm.
Can I do both? Or since they're in the same
Kind of a
room?
package deal, yeah. Could you heal us
You
both?
can do both.
Woo! 9 points healing. Does that remove the branch from his head?
Imagine the branch was is a bit like the T-3000, right? When it just stabbed the iron appendage, the fluid iron appendage, and then withdrew it. So
Okay.
it was just in tree form.
Oh, so I'm just plugging the hole.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay. This makes sense now.
So 9 back.
How many
Yeah,
fingers am I holding up?
5.
That's
Close
cruel
enough.
to ask the other one.
So we're both healed 9?
Correct.
Is that the case? Yeah, okay.
Sounds good. Does anyone want to wake up Air?
Yeah, let's please wake this guy up. Actually, let me go wake him up. Okay? I'll be right back.
Now, Evan has no legs.
Someone's gonna
He's
have
gonna
to carry
stay
me.
here. Okay. Cogsword, could you carry Gravebreaker?
I could. Also, remember, this is a ship that was run by Orkneas. I wonder if this room has anything that we could use to replace his legs. Perhaps mechanical, biological,
Mm.
fantastical, magical.
Yes.
I don't know.
Can I use my keen sense to look for some replacement limbs?
This
Sure.
does
Look around the room for something that may aid.
Walking stick?
Maybe a
This-
wheelchair.
You know, I think that's a reasonable request. There will be a wheelchair in a sick bay, and so they can plop you in that and wheel you out if you so wish.
Okay, let's go wake up the diamond.
At least the benefit of being cauterized by medical nanites is there's no bleeding.
So Gigi then spots a harness in the corner of the room and says, "Wait, I have an idea. It's much quicker than the wheelchair." And he gets Stormbreaker, right? Harnesses him up and throws him on his back. Gravebreaker, sorry. Get Gravebreaker and he harnesses him to his back so that he's facing backward, right? And it says, "Cover my rear."
So kind of like a Voldemort situation.
Like a C3PO and
Oh,
Empire Strikes Back. There we go. I don't know. I think of C3PO because remember, you're frightened.
Captain.
Oh no!
Oh, this is
Why am I-
great. This is
why am
great, and I
forgetting the name of
really.
it? Yeah.
All right, so let's go wake up this diamond boy.
Air, are you
Go.
still with us?
I'm sorry. I'm making dinner. What was that?
Very good.
Waking you up, Air.
They have decided to wake you up at this moment, having been maimed in sick bay by a shape-shifting eldritch beast from beyond.
So, what does Air say when he wakes up?
The smiling face of Gigi.
Oh.
Who is carrying Gravebreaker, who is now limbless, having been eviscerated by medical nanites.
My frequently somnolent friend, now would be a fantastic time for you to return to the world of the waking.
What did I miss?
Everything. Nothing really.
My
What
lips.
What happened to your backpack?
Your
Lomi.
friend Lomi over there decided to eat off my limbs with his nanites. So we're not really on speaking
knew
terms
it.
at the moment.
I knew it.
It was a shapeshifter in the form of Luomi. We need to find Luomi as well. He is somewhere, potentially dead, captured, burned. We don't know.
We
Hopefully,
can.
he also got his limbs eaten off.
Yes, but his grow back.
Oh,
Lucky
That's
man.
useful.
Mine do
Yeah.
not. So looks like I'm stuck on your back.
Well, shall we go up to the Raven's Nest? Go see what's going on up there.
That sounds like a plan.
So you will be proceeding from the crew quarters to the north through a mess hall. And that's where you'll be headed next if you carry on using your schematic to head towards the Raven's Nest. This mess hall is a kind of main recreation area for the enlisted men. It has grand and gold glimmering post weaponry on the walls, kind of ornate axes as opposed to military hardware or guns. It's stained by years of drinking rituals. On either side, there are platforms that provide seats for the off-duty crew and a high seat reserved for the captain at the end of the hall. A prominent door on the opposite side leads on towards the Raven's Nest.
Air will hang back and search.
No, nothing in this mead hall. Next room is, again, heading directly north through one of the pores, the hollows in this tree. It looks like a ready room. There's lots of armchair seats, fold-up tabletops, perhaps used for crew briefings. There's an upturned coffee urn. There's a broken popcorn machine, a loudspeaker, and a whiteboard. And the whiteboard contains presumably a list of crew members. All of them are violently crossed out. And then scrawled below those names is some handwriting that says, "I am he as you are me."
Oh, shit.
He's posing as one of us again, because of course.
Who is?
Oh yes, the creature that's been hunting us is shape-shifting into the image of our friends and trying to murder us.
Air just kind of laughs nervously and looks from each person to person. Great. Wait, so one of you or me? Maybe it's
Last we saw him, he looked like that one. And he points at Jason.
Is it that one?
No, I mean,
Are you sure?
It looked like me. It punched me. It punched me in the head. Look, well, there used to be a hole here. It was healed. But I can prove that I'm me. Gravebreaker, ask me a question that only I would be able to answer.
What was my mother's maiden name?
Give me another one.
We might be in trouble, guys. I don't know if this is Snow Thunder. Snow Thunder would have known that like the back of his hand.
Your mother's maiden name. But you really want me to reveal your bank information in front of these people?
Yes.
Okay. Your mother's maiden name is... Blah, blah.
He nailed it. That's it.
Yeah, so we're good.
There is a room to the left and a room to the right of this ready room that you can stick your head in if you wish to look.
I would love to poke my head through the room to the left.
All he's got to poke in there.
Yeah, that's all I got. But I guess I need Gigi to agree to walk me in to take a peek.
Just back up to the doorway. Yeah.
Okay, you can take a peek from your moving pedestal. It looks like, again, some more quarters, perhaps for the skipper. They are Spartan and clean. There is a locker, and there's it looks like someone has burnt something in the locker because there is a pile of ashes as well as some fragments of cardboard and paper.
Can we search through the cardboard and paper and see if we can make sense of what's written on any of it?
Yes, it looks like it is a criminal record, a folder containing the details of an inmate with a few scrawled notes of their offences that have been burned. The only legible word is Mordavaga, which means murderer. On the kind of mugshot, the person there, you can't really see the face, but you can see that they are wearing an orange jumpsuit emblazoned with the legend Nastrond.
Guys, do you think this could be our shapeshifter here?
Could be.
It's like it.
So perhaps it wasn't the mythical beast of whatever the name of that beast was that was in the newspaper. Perhaps it was this. The figure in the medical room did say that it was Orkneas and not the other, whatever the name of that mythical beast creature is. So perhaps it is guarding the ship because it was here first and claims salvage rights and whatnot.
Was there not a little leaf guy running around? There was, right?
That could have been him.
Hmm.
Could have.
We haven't seen him in a while.
Oh.
The loudspeaker in the other room clicks into life with a whine, and then you hear over this loud hailer an echoing voice that tumbles out along the corridors. Speak, noble, glorious Jarl, who fancies himself a god amongst men. What will you be when your sacred flames are doused, when your hearth is but ashes? Will your bravery echo through the ages, or fade as whispers in the wind, forgotten as swiftly as it flared?
Well, now he's just trying to provoke me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him.
Kind of monologuing. Yeah.
I've
that's when
already
you strike
been
them.
provoked. He's just going to pull his sword out. I bet you he's in the raven's nest. Forward, men, go!
Let's move.
Charges forward.
Snow Thunder, you know what we always say. Finders keepers.
Losers, weepers, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The loud hailer jerks to life one more time and says, I am carved of a god's gruesome fancy. I am the embodiment of slaughter, a testament to regicide. The echoes of the fallen echo in my marrow. I am destruction, the end of Mimir, the unmaker of worlds. I am Orcneus, and by my blood and bone, by sinew and scream, I shall be remembered. Can you say the same?
I already forget your name, darling.
Sorry, who was that?
Make an awareness check, everybody, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Hmm?
Oh, darn it. 4.
That's more like it.
4.
5.
Oh no, I had 4. I had 4 plus 3. I had an awareness plus 3, so Evan both of us plus 3. So
okay.
7 I have.
So 8.
Follow that up with a will check with 3 woes.
Air rolled 24. Did that help?
You get to see the impending doom
Oh, so actually not helping. Okay.
as it unfurls.
So I got
Yeah.
14.
Ooh,
Oh, good.
I ended up with 5.
I got 4.
Above you, hidden by Sather spells, lurking, contorted and hanging to the ceiling, is a dark and sinister form that flits between the shadows. It bends over, looking through its legs, tugging its earlobes and contorting its form, and then it begins to scratch runic symbols onto the hull, then bloods them with a red dripping claw. It reveals the dread runes, a fear helm as once worn by Fafnir to affright mankind, and you immediately drop to your knees.
Is this guy wearing any pants?
Well, he had a jumpsuit.
Because he's looking at us through his legs,
Yeah.
pulling
it's
his
not-
earlobes.
Sather spells in the Norse tradition are often cast by means of contortion. They call it magical mooning, so you're on the right
Oh
line.
my god. I was seeing
Um,
something.
CJ and Evan, you fall prone under the fearful impact of the dread helm, and you are frightened for 1 minute. You cannot stand up whilst frightened in this way.
Oh no.
Well, he couldn't stand up anyway.
Just had
I
to
mean,
point it out,
That's
huh?
true. Gigi has basically been stunned, toppled backwards, and is now
No.
smothering you.
Oh no.
Oh,
As you've fallen down.
Gigi!
Can my steadfast gift help me overturn that roll?
It can help you remove the frightened condition. You can use a triggered action to make a will challenge roll, so you can remove the affliction if you make that will challenge roll.
14 plus 2.
You shrug off the effects of the spell. That doesn't mean that Evan is any less immune, so he is still frightened and gibbering on the back of you.
Then Gigi looks at this thing and says, "Aha! Another self-proclaimed Doombringer. Slaughterborn, harbinger of woe, blah blah blah. Do you all get the same dramatic monologue from the same handbook? I feel like this is the same speech I've heard the last 3 adventures."
I also say, where I come from, they all bleed the same, and I train my rifle right onto the moonage.
Feel free to make a shot. Roll a slight
Okay.
roll.
Yes, please. 5 plus 2, 7.
Your aim is off today, and your shot fires into the shadows and ricochets around the room without hitting the faceless creature beyond. Do you want to do anything?
Hello.
CJ, do you want to do anything?
I can see the target.
You can.
Bullseye
It's-
right there.
It's heavily obscured.
Oh, okay. So in that case, I should. Yes. Okay. I'm going to use a action and then with wise counsel do the triggered action. So 2 spells. I'm going to, if I'm reading this right, I'm going to use Gandfly twice because I don't have to roll to hit. So if it's concealed or obscured or hiding behind something, then yeah. So that's 1d6 damage each time. Then it must make a might challenge roll, becoming fatigued for 1 minute on a failure. And I think that would my deep-minded cause it to resist it with 1 woe?
If only it wasn't a significant sorcerer in its own right, able to counter that with counterweave.
Oh, that's probably a problem.
Both of your lead balls fly towards it and appear to have impacted it in the darkness.
What do we got here? 2 and 5 makes 7.
Okay.
Did it notice that?
Apparently, because it turns a baleful eye towards you and laughs before saying,
And what of you, doughty Dog Alpha, who clings to wealth as if it could shield you from the inexorable truth? Will you be remembered as a mighty magician, valiant and tenacious, or will time erode you to rubble and dust?
Probably.
CJ, what do you fancy doing?
I'm going to do a fast turn, and I'm going to aim my storm shooter at him. Gigi is going to say, "You know how they say you don't need another hole in your head? Well, I think you do!" And then...
That's great. That's great.
Go with it.
So I shoot, and then, because I have Orlog, so I can cast it at level 3.
Yep.
And then it's a haunt, so I get the extra one, right?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Let's roll for damage. That wasn't very
Wow.
good. That was a lot better. 17 total.
You
Nice.
send a cascade of bullets as a burst of fire towards the ceiling, and ordinarily you might shred an opponent with your fusillade, but this creature appears to shrug it off as if it has iron sides. The bullets plink and plonk and disappear, spent and broken.
So then Gigi's going to turn around, show his back to the thing, so that Gravebreaker can take his shot.
Gravebreaker!
I know you're frightened, but shoot the thing.
But he's got no arms, but Gravebreaker. Maybe you can do the reveal weakness that we learned back home.
Yes, and that I shall. I will target the creature and use my reveal weakness.
Okay, so reveal weakness by trying to spot the flaws in the creature's defense strategy. You can give your companions 1 wheel on their next rolls. However, it now takes a slow turn, and the first thing it does is once again unleash some savor. It gives you a troll-like glance, and it casts its head thrust back between its legs. Look in its eyes is ugly, and it exposes its nether regions as it chants its hideous curse. If you can all please give me a slight roll with 5 woes.
So just -6, essentially. All of us?
All of you in the room.
Okay.
Five woes? Yep.
So I got 18, and then the highest from my woes was a 5, so total of 13. So I might not be too bothered by his wiggly willies.
Ooh, I'm definitely traumatized by looking into his one-eyed trouser snake. I'm not doing well. I rolled a 4.
Ah, rookie numbers.
Yeah.
-4.
No. I
Good thing you're
got
here.
17 minus 6 plus 2, so 19. So 13.
Okay. The two of you who failed the rolls drop anything that you were holding, in your case, air, that includes your spell-casting implements, that has dropped to the floor and slid away from you, and you rolled a -4.
Oh, yeah.
You also fall flat on your ass and are prone for the next round, unable to cast any spells. The creature then scuttles across the ceiling and disappears from view.
I say, you boys aren't used to that, huh? Where I come from, that's how we say hello. Anyway, should we look around? You guys okay?
I'm going to cast Wish Hour. That way, because this creature is still kind of around, and so it says you sense the immediate future. For the duration, your movement does not trigger free attacks. You impose 2 woes on attack rolls made against you, and you make slight challenge rolls with 2 wheels to resist attacks and other harmful effects.
Okay, so for the next little while, you have some resistance to these spells. Did you want to continue along the path to the Raven's Nest? You will be relatively close now.
I think so. Shall we? Shall we move forward?
Yes.
The Ravens? Okay. That was weird, but let's keep going.
All right. The Raven's Nest is effectively the bridge. It's a room with a raised platform from where a steersman or skipper can con the vessel and control movements of the ship, giving orders to the crew. On that raised platform, you see the slumbering form of the unconscious Alpha Leomi.
Oh.
The room is otherwise empty, apart from 2 sleek black flight visors that rest delicately on hooks near the entrance. They are a bit like virtual reality headsets used to power the thought and memory drive.
Wait! Stay back! We don't know if that's Luomi. It could be the Thing.
Oh my god.
I didn't count the rings.
We should test it. How do we test it?
You know him best. Maybe you can ask him a question that only he would know.
But he's unconscious.
Poke him.
What about your trap sense, Snow Thunder?
My trap sense. Yes,
See if-
you're right.
See if there's a trap afoot.
Why don't I do that? Do my little trap sense in the little room here. Raven's Nest. Can I do that?
You can give me a roll. The awareness roll with 1 wheel.
Beautiful. Okay, 13 plus 3 plus. Okay, so we did good. We got 19.
You
Mm.
creep around the room, checking the panels and the hardware for any traps. You don't find anything, but you do glide your hand over some strange runes that have been carved there. Can you give me a will challenge roll, please? With 3 woes.
So I got 8.
The rest of you see your companion freeze and look dazed. He begins to drool as he has uncovered these bewildering runes, subliminal signals that melt his mind. For the next minute, Jay, you are going to be unable to take any actions. You can move, you can stagger around with
I'm going to stagger.
Your tongue lolling out of your head,
Mhm.
but you are dazed.
I love that. I'm going to do that.
As someone who knows Runar, would I be able to counter it?
No, but Leomi does have some dispel magic abilities. If that is indeed Leomi.
Or do we just let him drool for a minute?
True.
He's quiet.
It's just a minute.
Yeah, okay. Let's just savor the peace.
Well, your mind may well be made up for you, for again, appearing from its helm of concealment, this faceless creature lunges at Jay, its teeth gnashing, whip-like appendages threshing with a mind of their own as they tear through his leather armor and through his flesh indiscriminately. Jay, you're going to take a nice round 15 damage.
Oh. God.
The creature in front of you hugs on him, teeth emerging from grotesque mouths, snapping savagely at you all within reach. Simultaneously, these sinewy appendages, acting like ravenous serpents, lash out in a frenzy.
Gigi's going to draw a bear paw and attack.
You lumber forward with Gravebreaker still gibbering on your shoulders. It causes you to be slightly off balance. So I'm going to make you roll with one woe as you swipe the heirloom sword.
Ooh, 17 minus 1.
Then-
I'm rolling well today.
Then
Nice.
the mighty bear paw, 1,000 years of Viking history, flies into the neck of the beast, or one of its many necks, as it has now a raft of protuberances and sinewy appendages. It clanks as if it has just met steel.
Can Gigi just do a sawing motion real quick?
Try and inflict extra damage. The creature's grotesque jaws begin to chomp violently on Snow Thunder.
Air will try to retrieve his spellcasting implements wherever they went.
Okay, you may do so, but Jay, you're going to take another 14 damage.
Oh.
Uh,
Are you kidding?
You have this whip-like beast rending at you with terrifying speed, a whir of razor teeth and elongated limbs.
Do I have any last words, or am I just dead?
As your damage surpassed your health,
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
then make a fate roll, please, which is a die 6.
Okay. Ooh, 6.
On a 6, you lapse into unconsciousness for the next round. You will awaken next round. The gods are smiling on you. The Norns clearly have seen some kind of future for you. You will
Gorgeous.
wake up next round with 1 health, presuming that you aren't snapped into savagely by the creature that's writhing around on top of you.
And he's not wearing pants. That's the brutal part.
You may enter into the room if you wish at this next top of the round.
Then the first chance he has, he will absolutely cast something. He's going to cast Wounding Wand at the nasty creature.
Okay.
Wits attack versus the target's might.
You have the empowered spell ability to cause it to, if you take a
That's
strain.
an excellent idea. You know what? That's an excellent idea. 2 wheels on. Yes, let's totally do that. We will empower it so we get 2 wheels. Is that over and above the deep-minded?
It is.
Okay.
Bill, perhaps you should just snore quietly in the background since no one's waking you up. It's fairly obvious that Bill is the real Leomi now, because the creature is, just whipping Jay limb from limb.
Okay. Really? So that's 8, 10. 10 exactly.
That is not enough to penetrate the sorceress defenses and the counterweave of this faceless creature.
I will do exactly all of that again. Okay, so that is really 9. Yeah, it's all gone poorly.
Can you give me a will roll with 4 woes, because you got 4 strain now.
We are killing it here. We are at that is -3.
So add yet another trauma, explode with the strain, and if you wouldn't mind slumping into a corner as your narcolepsy kicks
I wouldn't
back in.
mind at all. It's a thing I do.
Also make sleepy sounds, Steve.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay.
Interstellar shivers.
Valhalla.
So it's the top of the round if you want to make a fast turn, CJ, and have another swing, or if you've got any other cunning plans. Evan, by the same token, I know that you hitched to CJ's back without any limbs is a little bit of a challenging role-playing scenario. But feel free to shout words of encouragement.
Go get him. Go take him out. And maybe if you turn the right way, maybe I can do like a energy burst or something, from the back half.
So Gigi is going to. How close am I to this thing? I'm really close, right?
Yeah, you're within sword thrust range. It is in the process of stabbing violently the unconscious form of Snow Thunder, just pummeling him, and blood and gore is spattering all over you as this creature effectively devours him.
So I'm like real close. Bearpaw didn't do the trick, so Gigi's going to reach into his holster and pull out his pistol and push it into where this thing is gnawing, where its mouth is, and just try to shoot it point blank in the mouth.
Okay.
You got this.
And I'm gonna roll the hit. Do I have a wheel? Do I have a woe?
I'm going to give you a wheel just for the the execution style shot.
See if I can get it to take some damage.
It would be a start.
Oh, I don't need the wheel. I got a nat 20.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Challengingly, though, for you, and somewhat depressingly, again, it is able to trigger its Ironside's ability, and your bullet ricochets off harmlessly while it continues the process of eating poor Snow Thunder. Again, the Orkneys are known as the eaters of the dead, the devourers, and right before your eyes, it continues to feast on poor Jay, and he never wakes up from his unconscious state. Evan, can you give me a trauma roll at this point? Because seeing your comrade and partner being devoured before your eyes isn't exactly fun, and I'm going to ask you to do it with 3 woes because it's an extreme trauma event.
Oof. 1.
I'm going to give you pretty impressive 6 trauma there from watching all of that, and
Now at 9.
1 more, and you will have a mental breakdown.
Snow Thunder!
Air, as is his habit, has gone into his sorcerer's sleep. Leomi is lying supine on a couch, having been, perhaps drugged, or he was certainly kept for a reason, kept alive for a reason. And so Gigi is you versus the faceless.
That's fine.
You got this.
I just looked up Ironsides in the book, and it's a spell, and he's going to run out of spell slots, so I'm just going to keep shooting him.
Oh, that's smart.
Nice.
He's eventually going to wear it. We just got to wear him down.
All about the grind.
So whose turn is it? Is it the monster's turn? Is it my turn?
He's had his turn to unfortunately eat poor Jay, who now gurgles his last. You do notice that it is resurgent, having feasted on the body. Its necrotic cells burst with life.
I'm going to machine gun at point blank range.
Okay, you switch out your pistol for your
Storm shooter.
and blast away.
Since I'm doing a burst, I don't have to roll, right?
Correct? But it gets a slight roll to avoid.
And then, since I'm just trying to break down its ability until it runs out of spell slots, I'm not going to invoke any additional anything. So I think I only get 3, right? 6.
You pepper the creature again. The bullets ricochet off as it uses its Ironside's ability to withstand the damage. But you are right, you are clearly winding it down. And it is a glimmer of concern passes through the grotesque eyes that stare at you. And it says,
The Norns who weave fate will tell tales of the devastation I sowed, the cataclysm I wreaked.
and then
Joke's on you, you bastard! I have plot armor!
The very best armor.
it then does look at you, and a grin plays around its many mouths, and it says,
Measure your worth, heroes, against the pallid spectre of oblivion. Fight, bleed, strive. Let your deeds be your testament, lest you be forgotten. For I am Orcneus, and I rage eternal. I was made by the father of monsters, and my laughter will echo through the 9 worlds.
and then it sprints, scuttering away on these elongated crab-like limbs, leaving a trail of blood and guts as it leaves the Raven's Nest and vanishes into the ship beyond.
Well, Gigi is honor bound, so he's going to take off his harness and say, "So sorry, I have to leave you here because I'm going to go kick the shit out of that thing."
That's fair. Can someone else pick me up? Someone have, Oh, he's still sleeping, so I guess I'm only talking to Lomi.
So before Gigi goes anywhere, he's going to go try and wake up Air.
I'll just kick him as you go by. Yeah.
Just kind of a shake, like, "Wake up, my somnolent friend! Wake up!" Is he out?
Does Air wake up?
You can wake up. He just needs a swift kick to the midriff, and he'll be fine.
What did I miss?
Leomi likewise could take a J-style slap to the face to get him.
So Gigi's going to go over there and shake him a little bit and
No,
say,
I'll
"Lomi!"
take care of it. I'll take care of it. You chase your target.
And I'll need the bag of flares, please.
Gareth Gorungar. Sure. You know, I had the loveliest dream. You were there, and Air was there also. Yes, the flares. Here, the flares. I'm going to go try and get back into my dream. It was really rather.
What would you like to do next? You use the internal ship scanners to detect motion. I'm also going to point out that despite the fact that Jay and Evan had the schematic of the ship, you failed to go into the armory.
Well, why didn't they point that out then? I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds like a them
Who's-
problem. Now I've got
side
to
are
face
they
the
on?
thing with.
I
gotta
think they
walk
were
in with
trying
a
to
sword.
fit in. I think they were trying to fit in with our group.
Yeah. Anyway, my point to you is this: if you scan the ship from this command center, from this Raven's Nest, you can tell that there are no other life signs on board outside of the Raven's Nest. Whatever it would detect motion or movement, it would detect this creature. It is no longer on your vessel.
Okay, So Gigi's going to scan the ship and take a look and see nothing and say, that's odd. It's almost as if it's left. But I don't think it has. And I think I have something. Didn't I cast Wish Hour already?
You did?
And it's expired, right? Can I cast it again? I'm out of spells.
There are some people with things like Corpse Charm.
Who would that be?
Might be me. All right, I've been asleep. I have Corpse Charm. You call out to your ancestors, and 2d6 spirits move into your body for the duration. Whenever you make an attack roll or challenge roll, you can expend a spirit to make the roll with one wheel. I can also use an action to spend 3 spirits and ask the GM one question that can be answered yes or no.
Make it so. Cast it, and we shall see.
Has it left the ship, I guess?
Has the creature left our ship?
The spirits of the land speak to you and they say, yes, it has left the ship.
Well, thank you, Drazil, for that. So we are clear.
I was rather looking forward to fighting that thing, one-on-one, mano a mano.
I've been looking at the wounded man, and I think we should. I think we should plant him.
Either take me with you or put me out of my misery.
You are in the unenviable position of possessing a ship that utilizes thought and memory drive, which therefore requires 2 pilots. One of your potential pilots is a bloody pulp in the corner, and the other is a limbless paraplegic who is on the verge of a mental breakdown.
Gravebreaker, join me, will you, to pilot this thing and get it off the ground before you're broken by a grave?
Yes, please swing me back on your back and let's make haste.
Did the creature close the door when it left?
Go close
It will
the
be
damn
relevant
door.
as we go into space.
Vent atmosphere.
We could close it from here with our thoughts and memories.
Mm. Can we use the Raven Skull to help with the ship piloting or anything? I mean, it's related, isn't it?
You
guys
can
are really
indeed.
nervous about Gigi piloting, aren't you?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
I mean, he's got all the confidence you could ever want.
Mhm.
The Raven Skull, is it not somehow useful?
The Raven Skull will indeed give wheels to anyone who seeks to pilot the Falcon using thought and memory drive. There is a commotion outside, though, as all of your sled dogs are clearly reacting to something.
How quickly can we leave? How about now?
Now,
Now would be great. So,
mighty heroes run away.
do we put one of those visors on the on our immobile friend here?
yes. One
We-
visor on Gravebreaker, one visor on me.
Go for it. There's no way for this to fail.
Evan, I'm going to ask you to make a will roll with 5 woes.
Okay. 8.
So the way that thought and memory drive works is this. It's a kind of superposition. It enables 2 navigators to move ships vast distances, assuming that one of them can accurately visualize the destination. It becomes the memory to be accessed. And so donning the flight visor, you can activate the thought and memory drive, but it does require some specialist training, and in your mental state you are neither skilled enough nor have the mental fortitude to be able to pilot the vessel, and unfortunately the last of your mind dissipates and you sink into a kind of vegetative state, just sitting there drooling in the pilot's chair, your mind broken into shards.
Is it supposed to do that?
Well, I mean, one of them survived. It feels like.
1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Not bad at all.
Well, okay, half out of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I think he's dead.
The Valkyr remains marooned on the ice, unable to be piloted, and the dogs bark even more loudly, even more wildly out on the ice.
Well, shit.
The Vikings and Valkyries podcast is hammered together by a dedicated team of Skalds and Smiths. Please don't forget to like, share, and sacrifice to the old gods.